I'm back. I'm at the top of page 35. The sounds of ragtime music jingled from some of the shops, and men in loose-fitting suits and straw boater hats lounged around the doorways. From one shop, with a sign out front that said Barbizon Wigs Best Quality, Violet heard a woman singing along with a Nickelodeon tinnily playing a song that had been popular a few months ago. How are you going to keep 'em down on the farm after they've seen Paris? How are you going to keep 'em from disappearing, jazzing around and painting the town? How are you going to keep 'em away from harm? That's a mystery. As Violet passed a group of men lounging in front of a candy store, one of them reached out and grabbed her arm. "Hey, baby, come on in and dance with me. Let's shake a leg." "Let go of me!" Violet kicked at his shins. She thought he smelled strongly of liquor, but that couldn't be. Alcohol had been illegal in the United States ever since the Volstead Act took effect in January. The stupid man just laughed, but one of the others shoved him and said, "Cheese it, Stan. That ain't no broad. That's just a kid." Stan let go. Frightened and disgusted, Violet hurried away. After that, she stayed well away from the doorways, skirting inside the L's giant iron legs. The L is the upper, the railway. It's kind of like a trolley system. She kept walking fast. She didn't know where she was going, but she didn't like where she was. A train thundered overhead, making the iron frame of the L creak, and the sidewalk under Violet's feet tremble. There was an enormous crashing roar, as if the L were collapsing. Coal smoke filled her lungs and made her eyes smart. Violet stumbled blindly, unable to see but desperate to get out from under the crumbling L. Panicking, she stumbled into the street and slipped on something. She skidded, flailing her arms, trying to stay balanced. Then she hit the pavement with a smack that rattled her teeth. It took her a moment to catch her breath enough to smell what she'd slipped on. Horse dung. A hand grabbed her arm. "Hey, are you trying to get run over or what?" Violet was ready to give up on New York. She had a confused idea that the easiest way to do that was just to stay where she was. Getting up was painful. She climbed gingerly onto the curb. Someone was brushing vigorously at the back of her skirt. "Now your dress is all dirty." Violet turned to see who had pulled her out of the gutter. It was a black girl. Colored, Violet corrected herself. Nice people said colored. The girl only came up to Violet's shoulder, but she was dressed in a maid's uniform. A blue and white striped old-fashioned dress that came almost to her ankles, a white apron that tied behind with a big bow, and a quaint white mob cap that looked like it belonged 2 centuries in the past. One small braid had worked its way free of the cap. A badge on her dress said Girls Training Institute. "Are you all right?" said the girl, who was still brushing Violet off. "Yes, I'm all right, but the L just collapsed. Was anybody hurt?" Violet looked around fearfully, expecting to see wreckage and smoke. The girl glanced over Violet's shoulder. "The L wasn't collapsing, it was just going by," she said, sounding amused. Violet turned and saw to her embarrassment the dark outline of the L track behind her, apparently intact. "You must not be from around here," said the girl, looking at Violet critically. "Where are you trying to get to?" "The Henry Street Settlement House," said Violet. "Boy, are you lost," said the girl. "Come on." She took Violet's arm and led her down the street. "My name's Myrtle Davies. What's yours?" Violet had never been introduced to a colored person before, let alone introduced herself. She decided to say the same thing she had said to Mrs. Renwick. "I am Miss Violet Mayhew of Susquehanna, Pennsylvania." "Susquehanna, Pennsylvania? No wonder you're lost," said Myrtle. "I'm surprised they let you out on your own." "You're out on your own," Violet pointed out, irritated. Myrtle looked a lot younger than Violet. "But I know my way around," Myrtle said, "and I'm city-born. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I'm going to stop there. I'm on the top of page 38.